After an affair with his brother's fiancée, the younger son tried to marry her, but the family disapproved. He claims we ruined his life now that he's alone. Always felt my family was loving. My family is myself, M55, Sophia, F50, and our two boys, Jared, M28, and Nathan, M25. My spouse and I have tried to provide our children a good environment and teach them morality. My family was ripped apart by something so evil and tragic that I wonder if our parenting contributed. Jared and Nathan had a great relationship from the start. While not ideal, the siblings' connection was akin to any other. Each had memories, rivalries, and secrets. Sophia and I thought they were robust. Nathan sometimes resented Jared, but I thought it was ordinary brother behavior. Initially, my spouse and I agreed without thinking about it. Because of his incompetence, Nathan was happy and sad when Jared was picked for his school football team. After sitting him down, Sophia and I explained that he couldn't have his brother's abilities since his sibling will always be older. He wasn't mean, he knew what we were going through. Saying. Furthermore, my younger child wasn't always envious of the older one. There were additional cases of the contrary. Using women as social tools was never Jared's forte. He was bashful and frightened as a child. Nathan, however, said more. Jared felt alienated and upset because he always got fortunate with females but not him. My husband and I would then advise him. We weren't perfect, but we were a regular family. We fought and had hard moments, but most importantly, we supported one another. His behavior altered drastically after college. He eventually came out of his shell and started going to clubs, partying, and being more social. Sophia and I were surprised by the change, but we were thrilled for him. College is where he met Haley, his ex-girlfriend. She was 2 years his junior, yet he fell in love with her immediately. I don't know how they met, but he brought her into the family approximately 2 years ago. When Haley was 22, and he was 20, Sophia and I found her pleasant and kind. Jared seemed happy with her, and they had a good time, appearing together. Later that day, Jared informed me she was his life. He was confident she would be his bride. I liked Haley and told him I was happy for him. As a father, I would have urged him to propose slowly and not rush. As people grew older, their attitudes and ideas may change, I told him. Therefore, he had to be sure they were long-term compatible, not just captivated. We saw Haley again during the next year and a half. Nathan wasn't home. Both my boys attended colleges in different states by then. Nathan couldn't make it to meet Haley. After 9 months, Jared and Haley had problems. Not that he would tell us, but he stopped inviting her around and seemed concerned. He would say they were struggling every time we inquired about the situation. He kept quiet, and my husband and I knew not to force him to say something. We discovered Jared and Haley split months later. Sophia and I visited him often to help him cope with his loss since he was so upset. He struggled to move on from his first relationship. His answers to our repeated questioning concerning the breakup were never forthcoming. A year or more passed before he moved on from her following their 4-year relationship. Sophia and I are thrilled he is dating Miriam, F26, and seems happy with her. Nathan, however, had many connections. He was never reliable enough to put us in touch with someone. We left him alone since he was an adult and we felt he understood. We had no idea Jared had been trying to avoid Nathan since he split up with Haley. I now realize what was going on, even though we thought it was coincidence at the time. Jared cut down on family events and time at home. We never pressured him because he was an introvert and didn't like these gatherings. He sent us tickets and arranged transport to his place, but he stopped coming home. It continued. Sophia and I had no idea our kid had a serious condition. I kept reminding him to appear, but he constantly made an excuse and blamed his busy schedule. Nathan's behavior didn't change. He regularly went home, so we never had. Feeling his relationship with Jared was tense. Nathan confessed everything a few days earlier. He wanted to introduce us and hoped Sophia and I would be open. We were delighted since this was his first time introducing us to his girlfriend. We were delighted to meet her, but when I saw who she was, my vocal cord snapped. What to say? I had no notion. He told us he was marrying Haley and would present us to her when he went home with her. Sophia and I stared at them for a while. His look showed he was taking it seriously, yet part of me smiled and thought it was funny. A sophisticated prank on us. The first thing I said was whether Jared knew. Nathan said Jared had known this for a while and was fine with it, but Haley seemed uneasy. Since I knew my son so well, I thought Jared would never approve. I told Nathan I didn't believe him and to quit lying. His anger grew as he accused us of favoritism and disapproval. Haley and Jared may still be the same, but Sophia and I can't look her in the eye since we were so smitten with her while they were dating. He assumed we would congratulate him, but we didn't comprehend his link or encourage him. He stated we accepted Jared's relationship but treated it differently. Him with double standards by reacting angrily. I told him his actions were wrong and unjustified. Sophia was gone when I looked back expecting help. She returned downstairs 5 minutes later, grabbed Nathan's important documents, and threw them in his face, telling him to never look at her again. Despite his invitation to his wedding, he declared we weren't worthy. I claimed attending the wedding would be my worst dread. I was glad he rescinded his offer because we weren't attending. I watched in disbelief as he ran out with Haley and Sophia. Sophia called Jared. I had time to find out what occurred. After she asked him, he revealed they broke up because Haley cheated on him with Nathan. He initially thought she had cheated on him with someone else, not Nathan. Despite their best attempts, the incident continued to bother Jared, and he realized he didn't want to live his life in this place. She refused to reveal the affair partner despite his repeated requests. Due to stress, Jared ended their relationship. He learned his fiancée cheated on him with his brother 2 months after they broke up, while she was dating Nathan. When asked if he had addressed this with Nathan, he responded yes. He asked him why he had done so, saying that Haley was not family but could still pull off an act like this but never Nathan. Nathan could only reply that everyone acts shabbily while in love. Since then, the brothers haven't spoken. When I asked Jared why he never confided in us, he said it was personal and he didn't think it would be right. He also said he didn't want us to judge him. It broke my heart to hear him act large despite being hurt. I cried as I apologized for not being a better parent, and for not investigating his years-long conflict with Nathan. Sophia and I can't believe Nathan and Haley visited 3 days ago. We decided not to attend the wedding. For me, Nathan and Haley were dead, and I didn't want anything to do with them. Sophia and I think this is right, but Jared suggested our friendship with Nathan should not suffer. My parents called yesterday. Nature makes them Southerners. We are close despite our few interactions. The money they gave my kids when they were born was for college. I felt my responsibility as a parent was to provide, save, and create money for children, so that upset me. The lads used my money and obtained partial scholarships, so my parents' money is still with them. When they turned 21, my father handed them each money and told they may use it as they wanted. Nathan apparently planned to marry Haley with this money. My dad called to nag me about our wedding involvement. Nathan had grumbled about our lack of help, which infuriated Dad. He shouted during the chat. He stressed that he had instructed me not to abandon my child, especially on his most important day. He said Haley was lovely and that I should heed my son's advice instead of overreacting. He seemed furious. And I was about to lose it. After what happened, I didn't believe he'd back Nathan and Haley, but as he babbled, I realized he didn't even comprehend Jared. Drama between Haley and Nathan, naturally. How could he? Nathan wasn't the only family member Jared hadn't told. Nice to be upfront about everything. I asked Sophia if we should tell him the truth or leave it alone while muting the phone. Sophia said Jared had to know or everyone would criticize us and Jared for leaving family, even if Jared was at fault. Dad completed his outburst. I needed him to listen to me talk about something. I told him Nathan wasn't with us when we met Jared's girlfriend Haley. They then explored their relationship concerns. Finally, they discussed the divide. When we questioned Jared about Nathan and Haley's engagement, we told him what he told us. We told him everything. He first distrusted us, accusing us of prejudice and lying to protect ourselves. He wanted us to confirm this idea. Sophia said she had a photo from one of our sessions on her phone. Dad received it when she found it. He sighed into the phone, claimed he'd call back, and stayed silent. My father called Sophia this morning. He doesn't appear to benefit from their chat, which she told me. Dad contacted Nathan and Haley after. I checked with him yesterday to confirm our claims. Nathan lied to defend himself, but his father caught him. He then stated that Nathan will not get any funds from the fund. Over the phone, Nathan cried and begged his grandfather to alter his mind, but he refused. He refused to support a family traitorous relationship. In anger, Nathan told his father that on his 21st birthday, he had been told he may spend the money as he liked, which he meant to do. After 4 years of being promised the money, he argued it was unjust that he wasn't getting it. He tried to trick my father into giving him money, asserting that he was entitled to the money and that he would break his promise if he didn't. My dad has always been irritable, which is his problem. Given his temperament and age, he can't tolerate drama and bullshit. Nathan appeared to whine the whole time on the phone to terrify my dad into giving him the money. For him, that was enough. Dad told him that because he was so pompous and unrepentant, he had thought he would not provide the wedding money and would give it to him later. He decided not to give him the money. He said that Jared will get this. Money fuels it. Nathan probably realized he dug his own grave then. Since it was too late, he apologized, saying he had spoken these things in anger. Dad persisted, and Nathan will never see a penny of that fortune. Dad called Sophia to tell her what occurred and thank us for being honest. He said the guilt would have eaten him alive if he had given Nathan the money and indirectly paid for the wedding. He also stated his plan to divulge Nathan and Haley's actual identities, sources of familial tie. Sophia was worried Jared wouldn't like it. He was past this filth and grime, she said, and returning to it would hurt him. Dad said he spoke to Jared, who said he was fine with the family knowing, and to follow his own judgment. Dad is sure he will blow this up and asked if we had any issues. Since Nathan was gone, Sophia said she was fine with his plans. But she promised to talk to me and tell him my thoughts. I told her Dad's choice more than satisfied me. It may seem minor, but I've always hated cheating. Knowing my kid had an affair with his brother's girlfriend made me hate Nathan. I guess anything might have made him this way. Wrong with his upbringing. I pray this didn't happen. But I realize I should prioritize Jared's needs over the family's image right now. Nathan may be held liable by others in the worst situation. I think he should be ostracized. No atonement can redeem him. His actions are inexcusable. I'm worried about Jared since I know this will end in a family drama, but if he's okay, I won't say no. I would do anything to escape this situation, but I have no option. Dad forwarded a message to us. Here is whole message copy. I've always enjoyed my grandchildren and tried to be neutral. Judith and I have always tried to give them the best love and care, even if I wasn't a hands-on grandpa. We gave each baby Jared, Nathan, Bianca, Roxana, and Tyler money to spend. They sought this, but with the underlying caution that no one could use the cash unethically. Haley looked gorgeous when Judith and I met her, so I gave Nathan this money for their wedding. I enjoyed making their lives better. I was shocked to find a few days ago that Haley was Jared's ex-girlfriend, and that she and Nathan got together due of her adultery. I believed this knowledge was unreal. However, to my dismay, that is what happened, and I am retracting my offer to pay for the wedding. Now I have no claim on that money. I may do whatever I choose with it. I cannot image being in such an evil union, so I will not attend the wedding. I provided this information in case Nathan and Haley tried to undermine me or question my principles and ideals. You decide what to do with this knowledge. This message has been shared with everyone we consider close. He may have messaged Nathan and Haley, but I don't care whether they know what occurred. After getting the SMS, my sister called to ask what was up. I told her Sophia and I were as surprised as everyone else when we learned a few days ago. She won't attend the wedding, suggesting she's furious with Nathan. She breathed a sigh of relief when I told her Sophia and I would not attend the wedding. She thought maybe she and I were fine with this or willing to put up with Nathan for show. I informed her that we had stopped communicating with him. She asked me if Nathan got this SMS. I told her I didn't know and wasn't interested. I don't know whether anyone saw this text, and I don't know how Nathan will pay for his wedding. I just know that I could have raised him better and that he is not my son if he took this decision. My name is Judith, and my sister's kids are Tyler, Roxana, Bianca. Update 2: No wedding. Nathan came home 10 days after my dad texted. He wept before us, saying we caused his tremendous suffering. The wedding was skipped by all recipients, including some extended family members. Haley was overwhelmed by the name-calling and humiliation. She canceled the wedding and ignored his calls and texts. No, I didn't want to comfort him. I had no idea how to stop him from crying and leave the house. I'm glad I didn't since Haley had told her family a different story. She stated she separated from Jared a year previously, and that he approved of her connection with Nathan. Every family member believed her stories. When they discovered their relationship, everyone was disgusted by her. Parents rejected and disowned her. Apparently close friends and family have stopped talking to her. Jared told me her friends liked him. They spent much time together. Haley's pals also thought Jared and Haley split amicably. After her father texted her, her friends left her. Nathan blames us while she's miserable and alone. He says we wrecked his life and shouldn't have been involved. Their friends no longer care about him or Haley. I told him that while it would be easier to blame us, he created his own grave by dating his brother's girlfriend. Sophia rebuffed his attempts to pretend we were in love. She was caustic, calling him the only one. At blame, labeling him a monster and being shocked that her kid might have become one. I again asked him why he pursued Haley despite knowing her and Jared. He didn't know the cure and stated Jared had been resentful for too long, adding that such instances persisted into adulthood. When I asked him whether he was sorry for breaking his brother's heart, he only said we had wrecked his marriage. In that moment, I sensed his hopelessness. No amount of talking or understanding would change him. I told him I wouldn't let him into my house anymore. He could go, but after what he did, I no longer wanted him. He laughed at how obvious we loved Jared more than him. I told him we've always treated them equally, but he's foolish if he thinks we favor one. I told him we support justice, not Jared. It doesn't make anything right since he's blind to his wrongdoing. He was clearly uninterested in my words. He left with a long, furious glance. He barred Sophia and me anywhere after last night. Losing my family and seeing it disintegrate hurts, but I feel helpless since I can't fix it. Update 3: The wedding was cancelled a month ago. Haley was brave to try to reunite with Jared following her breakup with Nathan. She called him to apologize and ask for another chance. After that, Jared suggested she visit and prohibited her phone. Thankfully, none of it has happened. Nathan believes no one is talking to him and that he has done nothing wrong. Since we don't know where he is, I'm afraid to reach out. That's how things are now, and because everyone is used to it, I expect it to continue. This was unexpected for my family, but fate had other plans. I can only follow my beliefs.